right? And then also a big thing that we'll talk about is timing. It's a big exercise. And then getting good connections. If you don't have good connection with the thing, it's going to give you a lot of okay? So in body positions, you have to have a connection. And there's a lot of ways to get connection. This can be a little with the takedown time, we want to take a couple of things when we start talking about this connection idea. Because sometimes when you're thrown, when you land, you're kind of facing away from it. Imagine I got thrown and now I have my fist. Right? So like look how my hip is already here to do that one. Okay? Now if you get taken down and you can get to your back before they drop in, it's going to be this one. Okay? So, here you go. Faithful and loyal to the captain. Alright? So look, I'm just going to bury this slow. And let's just see how you land, and I'm going to go drop it on you. You're just going to try and prevent that by moving your hip away or turning it on your side. Yeah, see? Denied. Prevented the knee on belly from ever happening. Right? Now look, once you get this, like going to a single leg, okay, yes, boom. One of the big responses, guys, if you start escaping the knee on belly, they drop it. Right? That's what naturally happened. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Right? So, let's look at that again. This time do a more exaggerated break fall away. Right, yeah. Right, so here, connect this elbow to my knee and hip out that way. Yes. Okay, so that's up. Look, with my knee up, he's going to be more single leg. Or if he bumps me, he may bump me forward. Now I can take my back. Okay. So when that knee goes down on the mat, hands may down. You make the force hands on. That's another very common response when you start saving. Okay. So now go away and try and do the hip escape before I land on it. So think about the timing equation here. Like he still did it, it still worked, but it was later phase escape. Am I going this way? Yes. So like again, on a lot of throws, you fall away naturally. Right? So like here, boom. Right? Good, you can do that. You could turtle away. Okay? Try and do the hip escape mode also. Right? And if you don't get it out of it. Yep. See, now turn on your side. So you already have it. Yes. Now look, both my knees are down. Another common, yeah, then you get the double. Right? So you can turtle away too. I taught that. I did a seminar on the belly at Nate Murdoch's gym 18 months ago. And I just saw a video clip of something I taught there yesterday.
That's what I always do if I got that circle up.
Yeah, and there's, when we start getting into some here in a couple months, we'll do some back control. The escapes, like we'll bring back some of that bird stuff, like turtle escapes, right? That kind of ties into some of the ski on those. Okay, so try and hit the hip escape, and try and prevent the knee on belly with it while being taken down. Just do that Soto throw. It could be a hip throw. It could be a tie toe shoot. Any of those throws we've been working on. Great time to review. Okay, let's do it 1, 2.
You don't do like 3.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
That's solid.
Yeah, you did really good with that turtle.
I did.
See, that's,
Because I never played guard.
Well, you've been good. Well,
Do it one more time.
Chris Burns, I showed this video, is it's like, guard is for guarding. Like, all the attacks kind of come off of it, but like, it became this other thing that was not favored.
To me, turtle's like an attack platform.
Yeah, Edward Appel is the tight ender.
Yeah, I really like your one. What is that movement?
Or this.
Like pendulum?
It's basically, well, I mean, you're basically, I call it. You're basically just bridging the neck, but it's kind of a reverse needle.
You know, like a dip kind of use.
Yeah,
This is different.
Yeah, but like think of like that sweep with that oh yeah.
Oh, so I don't get this.
Yeah, you just are posting on a hand or elbow here. Right here.
Like, I don't even strap anymore, really. I bridge.
Dixon shows this too, and I do it on one of the new bellies.
Ah.
Just elbow right here with the opposite leg go down. That's
I haven't hit one movement forever. I like that. They don't work anymore.
If I'm on email, I'm gonna try that.
What's the other one?
you just go in. I'm gonna hit that one first. Right here. I can see I got to go back to your that one. Get down there. So see what's wrong.
I feel like it's taking care. Maybe I need to.
Yeah, it's just a combination. Now, oh, now it goes. Now, we're gonna like this, and then look here. Yeah. Right. That in most people, you went, in my opinion, too sideways. You were bridging about like 2 o'clock to 10. So I'm gonna go right. So like, right, and then two. This is like think Donna.
I wanted my name on your belly.
An asymmetric bridge is where your glutes go over one side of the knee.
See that? Now it's like your bridge and your bridge. That's both. That's symmetrical. So asymmetrical is like that, right? Like the original.
So like,
Like this.
same concept as breaking someone's arm. Because when you got people in guard, you just drive your knees straight in your chest like this. Because you gotta like do this.
You gotta turn to the
I'm not
side.
gonna turn it. It will be
Yes, 100%. But yeah, you just move your head out of the way and then bridge more with, you know, opposite way.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
So.
ready?
Like that. You ready?
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, yeah. That's a little up to
Okay, guys, time. Let's look kind of the same idea, but a different perspective. Like, you need to kind of understand this from, again, those entries, takedowns, standing guard passes. I just call that dropping in. It's when somebody is going to go from standing and drop to that knee on belly control, right? And what we're trying to do again is prevent. So just lay flat on your back. So as I drop in, you're just going to drive off that foot, but you're not looking to turn on yourself. As you do that, think about this as something to deflect. Right? Come here real quick, how you stay right there. Hands are up. Deflect with your rear hand, like that. Right? So you're deflecting with the forearm. Oh, that was going for his waistline. He would deflect with the forearm, front kick. Right? So here. Boom, keep it nice. Right? Now, start on your side. Okay, yeah. Right here, just kind of that same sort of, yes. Out a little bit. Okay, so you landed like this. So I want you to do flat on your back or facing away. So you start that pulling your hip away as I drop, okay? And go. My hands and my knee, right? And then you saw one time it was here. They make it gather up a wizard or what have you. And it won't be exploring, right? But work on just that prevention. He's on his back, deflected. Good. On this side away. Time it and go. Don't pull your hips away a little bit more next time, and I want you to nice away. Pull them away. Yeah. Right, and just like this, slide them to my hand down. And then turn on your side too. We'll do that now. See that? And it's kind of the same. So you kind of connected with that arm as you were turning down. Right? So let's work on preventing it from somebody dropping it from stage. You already passed your door. We'll do 1, 2.
That's all perfect,
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Every time it gets kind of long, it's sort of
Oh, what? From like you being on me on that?
Where you going for it?
oh, you go.
You're
I'm gonna get more. That's what I think she was talking about. Good job, D-Rock. You got his back. When I come up and I'm behind him like that, sometimes I'll pull his knee out from under him and then try to take your back once you get your leg.
Yeah.
If their hands are on the mat, you could take your back easily. I'll pull that leg first so they can't turn around. How are you?
Oh, my turn. How you doing?
Push out. Don't push it. Is it like this? See, this is how a lot of people, like around showing people teach this. They do this. Look at this.
We're here for whatever day we're at, so
Yeah. I couldn't see it here. Because I didn't have my glasses and I couldn't hear it either. So I was literally just looking at this the whole time.
This is not like
we're going to stay in.
Oh, kind of like this right here.
Stay in squirrel.
way better trying to go out there. So there, different person. Right. Because if it's all the way over here, then it's hard to reach. But if I can start it, get a little, and then but I mean, if it's just here, might as well just. I still haven't answered up yet.
I'm still going to do this. Just play this. I'll show you. This is literally this. Tight. And then that leads me like crap like this.
Yeah, if I go up, you can enter like the tangle here.
I've always been doing this. To me, that's the best thing. Except it's like,
I didn't feel like I had time to
Push it.
they don't look nice and tense. They're not trainers.
Exactly. Yeah. And so here, keep it nice and tight. Or there's the thing too, like, if you do the same thing, you go for it, you go to all that good stuff, and I'll just come up with it.
oh, were they?
Yeah, it was like, I was
Dude,
here
have you been doing that live?
a little bit, yeah, so like, I'm
You just like, oh, that was good enough for that? Because we were using that whole, like, that wasn't the right one, but he was pulling me up. As he was pulling me up, I was coming up on a single, because this is right here.
Yes,
that's
I'll go right into it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I threw you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, good. Here's the idea, like, people have said it a while ago. Right on the end, we said it. We fucked up a long time. And I say, just try it. Don't get to that. Alright? And I say, just see how go on ahead. It's an idea, like, prevention is something to say. Right? So that's kind of some basics on prevention. Now, let's review when somebody pops up. And there's a great way to pop up from head on side. And most people don't agree to it. Okay, so you guys will. But this kind of, it's a great variation. Just kind of go along again with this prevention stuff. So he's got head on side. Okay, so go ahead and just pop up to the elbows. Just go ahead and do it. Yes. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So again, think about the two ways. They drop in and they pop up. The two ways there. And then some of the escapes they already have it. You know, that's the three ways to kind of understand the escape. Okay, so as he comes up, I'm gonna do an outside of the escape here. Right? And look, reach down and pluck this elbow out. And you can set through it because you're because to add the hips, raise them up like this. Right? So as he pops up, look how I'm catching his arm and turning away. Pluck this arm, sit through. Does that make sense? See, that's one of the first ones Chris taught at the seminar. You guys are there. And I can get you a link to the video if you were or were not. Alright, you don't have it. So, but that's just a real basic one. And it's really all I'm doing is going right across the body, pushing with that, and then
That's 6 points, maybe, yeah, no. Because they sort of reversals, you know.
If you're in side control like that, should you try to pursue knee on belly or should you try to maintain side control?
say that again.
If you're the one in side control in that situation, you're trying to go knee on belly. Is that something you'd recommend? Should you try to pursue that?
I mean, it's not a bad idea ever. There's just a right and wrong way to do it, and that's the wrong way. Right?
So in the hierarchy of positions you want to be in, you would go side mount, knee on belly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Once you get to, this is for everybody. Half side. I could go knee on belly, mount, or take your back. Have knee on belly. I could go to mount. I could go back to side control, or I could take it back. Right? Same thing for all the pins. Mount, back control, same idea. You know, I want to keep going full. Right? But there are times where you like to settle for going backwards. Like last class, we showed, I believe we did this in there.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So there, I had to go back to side control. But from there, I could take his back around. You know, so it's just like, I want to keep having a, like, I don't want to end up back in the guard. That's a no-go. But if I have to go back one pin in the hierarchy to maintain pinning, sometimes you have to do that. It's not preferred. Right? So, kind of positional hierarchy, the you are here part of it. We got standing, guard, half guard, side control, knee on belly, you are here. Mount, back. top and bottom of that, except standing, in which you're roasting. All right. So that's that. Let's do that when they pop up. You hit that rollover. It's technically an outside hip. All right. Let's do it. 1, 2.
I'll roll with this. I'll roll with it.
Yeah, it's the one under your head.
You'd be on bottom.
Man.
Well, yeah,
I feel like I did that wrong. I did it wrong.
it's that time and shooting and trapping the arm. It's like, it's the same.
I got that taken care of, girl.
Well, it's like as I'm coming up too, I'm already going that way. You start inside now. Oh, yeah. Bird control here.
Did I do the right thing?
Yeah, it's if you trap this, because if I get up, it's a different thing. But since you're trapping this down, I'm going that way, and then hit that.
Keep your foot on the floor is the only thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You'll get more. Well, just more base, more connection. Good, Howie.
Because like instead of you just chilling, like you're feeling that out. And so as it starts to come up, because I'm usually not gonna do like 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna be like right here. And so that's whenever all this kind of.
So I did need that one.
Think about this too, so yeah. Everything you got to do is fine, and everything you're saying is good. But think about trying to Kimura the. It's like a catch. Okay, so when you go to pop up, that's good. See how that's bending like a Kimura, my head's pressuring. Right, so just add that component, and you will have all the components.
So you're using your right arm.
See, I was kind of
I was trapping the.
Over under like I was.
when it's like this, right, and when you are kind of checking their other arm as you're rolling over, right?
Yeah.
But I'm really focused on that Kimura of their arms because to prevent this from happening when I do pop up. I try my best.
Pretty good. I want to play with that. Okay. So we're just popping up. You feel? Oh, right here.
That's a little better.
Reach,
More like. Because it didn't hurt when you did it, but it definitely locked my arm up.
Because I feel like this arm.
I don't think it's so much of that. Oh, just right over your face. How about that?
See, I did that completely different. I'm like, it's something weird. I got like a muscle memory from there.
No, I don't.
I'll kind of.
Right?
I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll be like a water resistant.
Brian, are you saying that as you're keeping this,
Yeah.
I guess where your outside foot planted,
A certain point, you're
it
gonna.
is gonna come off.
Yeah, so when you turn over.
Yeah.
Put on the floor all the way until you get that.
It's always that easy.
I just wanted to make sure I was missing.
What do you mean? I didn't time something, and I felt myself having to strike.
Here, control it down.
What do you like to do from here?
Like,
I like to stay. I like to be happy.
And you're
I do
kind of
want to
thinking about
like
this.
this.
All bridges are either this way.
No, I'd like to do from here.
So
My
Think about lifting if I'm hip escape.
Break hurt.
Right, so I'm going
Oh, we
here.
were playing.
I'm gonna lift my hip at the end.
Oh, that's nice.
That's like I'm driving off of that.
Maybe here, I'm on the side and then I can just like
See this?
when you're on the bottom.
Now what do you do with this one?
It's on me.
That's the point though.
Not even being me.
Hey,
I don't ever finish that break.
I like
Keep your foot on the board, Brock. Yeah.
Did you like how I set up the arm
Left foot.
there?
Well, I was worried about you stepping over more of them.
Good.
Because I'm here, right? And you see how I got this?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Hey guys, let's make one real quick point here, okay? And some of you guys, but I had to point out a couple of times, and some of us just still listen. Okay, so two things I didn't super talk about, but I was doing, right? Is one, think about, I want to like Kimura trap this arm with my head and my, okay? So as he starts to come out, I'm going here. Now look how I'm checking this arm, but look how I'm driving off of that foot. So some of us don't have our foot on it. Okay? So here, once I'm driving, there, lift, here. And you make that sound. It's a good part. Right? Here's what I'm, kind of joking. Because here's what people will do. They will do a technique like I just showed, and then they don't get that follow-up position. And then that kind of like negatively translates over to people. Right? So just solidify that next position. Right? Like in kids' class, we'll do a guard pass to side control. And they do the guard pass now. All right, good. It's like, no, little Johnny, put him inside now. Right? Here. All right. So those are just a couple of things, folks. All right. Any questions on any of the prevention that we did today?
When we were dropping down, was it your? So if I'm this way, was I'm
Yes.
trying to this one?
If you don't completely move your hips out of the way, you may bump their knee with that. It'll just be like one of these, like a reverse elbow, right? And you will use that same escape for just regular damn belly escape. You do that same thing. Right? If you want to turn on your side facing away, matter of fact, we'll do that. Okay? Because I really like pushing their arm over for different. Right? I think everybody. So, but if I'm pushing your arm over for gift wrap, I'm giving you what we're talking about for today. I start doing this. Yeah, connect your elbow here. Drive with that foot. Hip escape that way and turn in. Yes, and then here we are back on this. Look. Now, go ahead and come all the way up, Julia. If he's behind me, get more behind me. This can pass no across the street, right? But my hands are on the mat. I don't have a wizard. Pull my legs straight back. Boom. That's how you get a better back take. Not a seatbelt over the front. Right, a double under, body lock, whatever. Set look, whatever. Right? But to really solidify that back take so they don't turn to face you, maybe get their guard, I'll pull their leg back when I'm behind them. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, so put me in, just get me in the belly. Okay, so when he's pushing my arm across, look, I'm gonna connect, drive, and I'm gonna scoop my hips forward here. Oh, you fell down. Try not to fall though. I know, but it happens.
Coach, I have a question.
Yes.
Kind of what Howie was saying. Let's say you get that single leg, but they're quicker too. That you can get that leg out of the way. Do you work your way back up?
Kind of show me what.
Like off the single leg?
No, like if let's say you lose a single leg, right?
So you get here.
Yeah. So say you're here, but you're quicker and you get that out. So I don't have that. Do I work my way back up?
Yeah. You could do a sit through at that point if they get that leg back.
Just take guard or something.
Do what you're talking about doing. Right. Good. Yeah, keep doing that.
Right, like maybe a low single, where
Okay.
you're right there. If you stand all the way up, I may sit it to a double.
Okay.
But it just depends on how they're pulling
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you keep going up or you can stay low.
At the very worst, you'll recover it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I would like to like duck out and take your back in.
Yep.
It just becomes more of a sit through. And see, like what's cool about this conversation, like I mentioned this earlier, is we'll have a lot of these same conversations when we talk about escaping like front headlocks in the back. Right? Because of how we're seeing how that same sort of wrestling equation happens here. It also happens in halfway. Right? Singles, knee taps, or back taps. Right? That's the main sort of route. And what happened with Philia is another common response. They drop a knee on the mat, both knees. Maybe one knee or both, and their hands are on the mat. Maybe their hands aren't. Maybe they have a wizard. Maybe they sit down. That's what happened to you. Right? Maybe they stand up. Then I'm running like ankle picks, low singles. See if I can fit in a double. There's a lot of the same stuff when I'm like underneath the front headlock and somebody has sprawls and pressure and they're standing or whatever, right? So, but work that outside hip escape when they're pushing that gift wrap across. And that's the timing of that. Like, don't let them have it like, just kind of like time. As they go to push it across, connect it to that knee, turn on your side, and you're out. Okay? And then just see what pathway happens. See if you can make them sit down. If the timing's perfect, they'll probably lose their base and sit down.
Yeah, that's what happened.
All right, let's do it 1, 2. Here's the humble brag on my part. Subtle announcement to the class.
Thanks for covering up the next
I didn't get you a gift wrap, Coral.
Well, PTSD.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
So I'm going to.
Yeah, they can kind of go back to that same session.
I can go to work.
It's just like the setup
He said
escape. Almost all the times they sit down like that.
Move me.
Sometimes you're moving
Verbatim,
a little
that's
bit,
close.
but you're usually doing that before.
Like, what they get myself totally Coral and stuff.
You sit up and wrench you over. That's the same. We're gonna do big block Kessa escapes. And a bunch of Kessa escapes. You sit up.
This elbow.
Taught me how to start playing Kiss again for
Gotta take advantage of
Yeah.
that.
We'll do some. We're gonna do some Kessa attacks, but not because you're.
He's getting a single leg.
I'm already 30 weight.
Yeah, connect.
Yeah.
Good way to drag that leg out of the way. How we doing that?
Well, when I am doing that hip escape, I often find myself
I don't know.
in this presentation where
I just completely bypass.
facing directly at me, rather than me.
Let me show it. Let me see.
She gift wraps,
Yeah.
that's you going into.
She's putting all that pressure.
Well, yeah, there you go. And with this one, let it happen.
Move it, like, so actually going that way.
Yeah.
Pushing this
Okay.
Like, kinda go a little ahead of her with your hip.
Yeah, because we're just hitting out this
They're on the same side of the knee to be.
Yeah, now look.
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah.
Turn belly down. You were grabbing this.
I learned to gift wrap.
Say what you're saying.
And now
Yeah, I
you're.
said something like the other day, a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, I'm
You
just
know how we
doing
did
this
the
shit.
tug of war thing with the belt?
Alright,
I figured it out.
so,
So I'm here, right? Fuck. Can't do that.
now he's moving.
It's just like, forever I didn't have this, but it's just.
And see, I was just doing this to begin with,
Well, it's sweet, so,
right?
you know.
You gotta watch the
gotta
learn
do it
part.
with your hips. You
You gotta
wanna
learn
do that more.
as you go over.
Yeah, right. It's just that.
Down.
That's why that tug
You
of
can
war
turn it in.
with the belt is such a basic thing.
That's why he's-
That it's like I do so many things.
I was just literally
And they're
shoved
powerful
in here.
too, right? It's like the techniques I use that on, I'm like pulling somebody's whole body.
You're gonna push it. Oh, yeah.
You may do that as well. You could do that same thing. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that's what he was just, you know, I was asking the other day, I figured that out.
Yeah.
I was doing this, but I learned if you can't shovel, like, Did you do this at the same time?
So there's like.
Well, I just do, ironically, because that came up in class like a month ago or something. I saw Chris Burns or somebody I know showing time. You got to time it the same way we're timing this, right? It's just like it's going across. If you're already wrapped,
I'm still able to get out, but it's fun to get. And if you do that, you can learn to reverse.
yeah.
Because I got forever to set up my arm.
You're gonna be here anyway.
Beautiful. Yeah, that was the other. Good job, bro. Yeah, that was good on that. Show me the. Here, I'll do the one where you put the skateboard with. Show me. Now drive with this foot to make it so. Yeah. And then try to fix. Beautiful. Yes. Look at that. See how you collapse my hands, right? Just go anytime somebody arm like this, not to get too advanced.
Yeah, that's where you are, because that's what you're gift wrapping.
Where a wrestler would just grab your arm right here, right here, but inside. Now, break me down. Yeah. Yeah. Now people think you're douchebags.
You don't have one of those.
You know? I don't care what people think all the time.
No, it's like Joe Rogan kind of like shows them off, but if you're gonna go through this,
First? No,
Say no, sir.
you
you need more.
your gift wrapping.
Here.
Laurel, come get gift wraps.
There you go. Yep. Beautiful.
I want a gift wrap.
Oh, I don't want to
Tiny.
belly.
You want
Give it
tiny.
the bopper.
Do you know what
They make like your characters.
Give the old
You got R2D2.
You have
Yeah,
that.
four
Have
floats.
that.
I'm down at Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There you go. More,
Anytime
a little more
somebody-
hands still here though.
Yep, that's way better than me having.
Or skip it.
Since you missed the time and you're already in.
Have they gone under all the way and grabbed that?
See if your jiu-jitsu works against my belt.
So you can't use this.
You gotta, try and react to it first. One thing that you could do. Like, as your arm goes across, go like this. But it looks like, once you hit here.
As soon as I go up for grips, bam!
Right. But they'll do a gift wrap, they'll also do arm over from that.
I'm not getting into November.
The arm over
Submission
stuff.
challenge. I
I
don't be so
can
long.
get it quick. I can get it to stop.
Big thing. You just gotta go down.
But that's like a
I'll
little
get-
more.
you'll get out of
Like, it's not a tournament, it's just.
Right. Like that, and two, on this side, like that.
The submission
I might even
is the
back
same.
my
They
shoulder
just do
side
it in
control
shoulders.
before I go.
No, it's
Try it on there.
it's bracket. It's bracket. The very first one I went to, they
Have your knee on
I
it,
didn't know.
right? So
If you order
See,
it,
I was
right,
never
so
go
when
side
you get
control.
started,
straight
my
down.
first match was 43 minutes.
Now,
Whatever you're better at.
okay, that one
There's a
feels
tournament
more
for like 2
different.
days.
Now, put me in your other one.
And then the very next one.
That one
oh,
feels
right.
different to me than
10
this one
minutes.
because, the other
Then
one.
over
I just
80
like,
hours.
it doesn't feel like a conventional choke. Here, grab your hands together. Now, think about falling under my back with your left elbow. Hold on, go back. As you do that, your elbows into you, so you're hanging.
Work your body.
I only had one guy on my
Right
bracket.
here.
I beat him the first time,
So,
and he
That's where,
here.
at least where
went home.
I was saying, feel my elbow going under your back there.
I'm not going for it.
Like, we're not gonna see each other together.
Dude, I used to roll like crazy.
I'm better.
The common mistake was
I would literally come up and match, we'd roll for 2 hours.
that kind of hangs weight opposite. So they roll like that.
That's such a smooth escape.
Yeah, but the knee on belly when Howard said that to me, I was like, but just over
I like
time, I was
to
like,
do weird stuff.
it doesn't feel like it's working. Right, it's just like different when you do that 10 player, the way they showed me on belly finish.
with itself?
So he's catching here, right?
Yeah, so like if we're just here,
Pulling you up.
as I start to push it.
Let's go light. Let's see what happens if I go get it.
Yeah.
How do you get that tight?
Settle. Settle. I wonder if I can still escape.
I pushed through my knees.
So it's still candy.
I almost got my toes. It's just uncomfortable as hell.
Yep. That's legit.
I can't hold the cast.
I'll be thrown out.
Yeah. And they just set me aside and told me so.
Do it slowly.
To me on belly.
Okay.
So, you wanna see this sitting around and like sort
What are you waiting for? You gotta catch me one go.
walk. Just like walk on.
Right there, yeah.
Go rock down. If you do that, push me between your legs. Now.
And then from here.
Oh, what Chris was showing.
That's an outside. I don't know any attacks.
You were like,
Oh, that, yeah.
That's it.
like, just spin over it, like,
Get anybody with that?
A bit more snuggle.
Yeah, we went over that on the record meeting.
Okay, guys, time. We went way too long.
Yeah, that snuggle was good.
Yeah, we
The
feel
first
like-
was good as well.
Y'all are doing real good. Any questions before we roll? Is everybody here rolling? We're gonna do 10-minute round odd man out. World's odd person. If somebody gets tapped, they become the odd man out. Whoever's odd man out.